The shul was right down the block. When he brought his dad had a barber shop there. And if you look really closely, I don't know if you can see it here, you see the little picture between there on the shelf. It's a Spock haircut. People used to come in and ask for it, so his dad had it there. So he would bring his dad lunch every day in the forwards at the family barber shop. He had literally 3 blocks to walk. He was very aware that his childhood was easier than that of his parents, who had escaped from Zaslav, Ukraine. And his father had to sneak across the border, walked for days. His mother and grandmother were smuggled out in a hay cart. He was very aware that his parents' papers upon entering the United States had been stamped aliens. They entered this country as aliens. One Rosh Hashanah, when Leonard was 8 years old, he accompanied his father to shul. This was not the one 3 blocks away. Actually, it was the one across town. His father didn't like the way they conducted business at the one down the street, where an argument had broken out. And one of Leonard's favorite stories to tell was always about the Jew who was discovered on a desert island, and he went around to show them the 2 synagogues he built while he was there, one that he attended and one he wouldn't go in for $1 million. And during this Rosh Hashanah service, a bunch of men went to the bima and started chanting and swaying. "Cover your eyes," his father whispered. "Don't look, no cheating." Lenny peeked. He was fascinated by what he saw. The men pulled their prayer shawls over their heads, but their chants only got louder as they blessed the congregation. They raised both hands in the air and held out their hands as if they were shooting a 2-handed jump shot. And there is Leonard demonstrating that at a talk he gave at my gallery. What were they doing with their fingers? That night in his room, Lenny practiced what he witnessed. He taped together his index finger and his middle finger, then his pinky and ring finger. By the time of his bar mitzvah, Lenny could make the gesture easily with either hand. His fingers looked like the letter Shin, which he'd learned in Hebrew school was the first letter of the word Shalom, peace, and Shaddai, one of the names for God. So Leonard began his career in Yiddish theater. Interestingly enough, he was used in Yiddish theater primarily as the non-Jew. There he is, I think that's with Maurice Schwartz, the great Yiddish actor, and Leonard. And that's, those were the roles he played. Yiddish theater is what really launched him. He worked regularly, as many of you know, doing a lot of TV appearances, playing the Indian, playing the, always the exotic guy later. He opened up his own acting studio. He worked regularly for many, many years in LA. And he was a working, run-of-the-mill actor. He was respected by others. He did start his own acting studio, and he was proud of that. He was happy with the way his career was going. Then one day, he got a call from Gene Roddenberry, who he worked with earlier on a Gunsmoke, this was Gene Roddenberry, a producer who wanted him to play the part of an alien science officer named Spock. But Spock would always feel like an outsider because his father was from a planet called Vulcan. Leonard wasn't sure he wanted the part. He would have to wear pointy ears and a silly haircut. What if the audience made fun of him and his career was ruined? He tried to think about his decision logically. My folks came to the United States as immigrants. They were called aliens, and they became citizens, he told Mr. Roddenberry. I was born in Boston as a citizen. Then I came to Hollywood as an outsider. And now it is time for me to become an alien. I am Spock. So in Star Trek's second season, the Enterprise visited the planet Vulcan. It was the first time that viewers would see the world Spock came from. The actual script, had him shaking hands with the Vulcan Queen. But Leonard wanted to have a special greeting. Asians bow when they meet, he told the director. Military men salute. Well, how do Vulcans greet each other? He was asked. Well, as it happened, Leonard hadn't thought that far ahead. And he did not have a ready answer. But at that moment, he remembered back to that time as an 8-year-old in temple. So he held up his hand in the ancient Hebrew Hebraic gesture, and he blessed the actors he worked with, and he blessed the audience, and he blessed everyone all over